G'day ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me on this my journey into the constraints-led approach and ecological dynamics for grappling. I'm Sam Battlefield and I just want to kick it off. Had the interview slash podcast with Mike Maloney and Professor Ian Renshaw. Went really well. Was a little nervous because sometimes I tended to ramble, as you already know. But I got a really cool thing out of it, a really cool immediate practical thing, which was good. But also, it was a really cool conversation, and it was good to get sort of confirmation, as I mentioned, validation from pretty much one of the preeminent minds on the topic, and also so anyway, one of the thing that I the practical application that I got instantly, as you know, I've been doing the stand up, the control, and then the guard aspect, because we're working on guards at the moment, particularly closed guard. The stand up is kind of the bulk of it, and one thing that that the last few sessions have shown me is how can we make something make a game that incorporates striking but not striking, striking as a game with grappling as something to achieve. So, and part of the thing that I initially started with was touch the shoulders, touch the navel, and then touch the shoulders, touch the ankle, because that will get you a level change. But even then, there wasn't you got the level change, but there wasn't an impetus to actually follow through. So you could call it was an ankle pick, but even then there wasn't an impetus to grab a hold and follow through. And while I was talking to Ian and Mike, Ian mentioned that a really cool thing that he was doing, that he was talking about how he introduced constraints, or maybe not he did, but part of a study introduced constraints for, I'm pretty sure it was field hockey, could have been soccer, could have been anything with a goal, as in a kicking goal or a ball to go into a goal. And he was they started putting constraints, points constraints, saying anything from the outside that they wanted to, I suppose, make it far out. I'm no good at this today. Make it so that people shooting from the outside, is something that they wanted to improve on, and so they started putting 5 points for kicking from the outside of this sort of area, and then the rest was just 1 point, or whatever the case may be. But the idea was he was putting 5 points on that, and what it came down to, what ended up happening in this circumstance, was that people were the defenders were then moving to the outside, leaving the inside space just really, really open to attack. So it wasn't a good constraint in that respect for the defenders. Anyway, that's neither here nor there for us. But what it showed me was I could play games with points, with a point system. So the game that I created was shoulders is two points, navel is 1 point, an ankle tap is 3, but clasping your hands around an opponent was 8. Right, so whether it be around the leg for 3 seconds or around the body for 3 seconds, that clasp meant that you had got a win, right? And that was a really good game. Unfortunately, I didn't record it, so this is a second game.
So this game is going literally from mount, however you can do it, to high mount, which means knees underneath the armpits, essentially, where the elbows are more than sort of 90 degrees.
Jesus Christ, I didn't think I was that bad at my cardio. Anyway, I'm just going to do this briefly. Yeah, cool. So that worked out quite well, which was awesome. I'm pretty sure this one is also pretty decent as well. So let's have a look, see at this one. Ooh, maybe I can go up the top. Hi, I'm upstairs. Terrible camera angle.
Two goals, the past is actually getting a little bit water. One goal is to make back, or put your chest down. Yeah. So, then the person on top is just
Right, so this one was, I thought, much better thought out than it ended up being, because essentially what really should have happened is you were already out on an angle and their elbow was in the pocket on the ground. What I found almost instantly when if the arm was just across the body and not on the ground and you was already slightly out to the side, is that Ridwan instantly got his arm back. It wasn't even a fucking fight. It was ridiculous. So, but when I went with Ridwan, when I went with Aaron, he put my elbow on the deck, and then it was a fight as such, which was good. But I'm going to revise this particular thing because I didn't particularly like this game. It was maybe because I was no good at it, but something that Aaron showed last week, I think it was, just pulling your hips back out, and this might be a symptom of figuring out figuring out the solution very, very quickly in the sort of the weeks or the period of the curriculum that we're working on this thing. But it was it probably wasn't the best game for it, and I am going to go back to the drawing board. I was going to include a sort of a third affordance, so this was just building on a game that we played before. It was building on it, and I don't like it. I didn't like it. I'm going to work on something else, I think. So, that would be me. To stick around for the constraints-led approach. If you like what I'm doing, like, comment, and subscribe. If you don't like what I'm doing, comment below and still subscribe so you can give me shit, and I'm happy to give you the thumbs up. Anyway, Sam Battlefields, thanks for joining me on my journey into the constraints-led approach for grappling.